Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ESL One Katowice as we look at some more beautiful shots of Poland. We are wrapping it up with Group A. It's pretty much all decided at this point. There's just one more match that really matters to be played tomorrow, and we are moving over to Group B, where things are still very much up in the air. We're here on the B stream. I'm joined once again by Lacoste and Lyrical. Guys, how you doing? Looking forward to the rest of the day of Dota ahead of us?
Very much so.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have some interesting matches coming up. Anything particular you would like to see on the post right now?
Yep. I think I'm excited for our next series here. We got a NIP versus Aster.
Really?
I really want to believe in Aster. So I need the UFO Photoshop with this the I want to believe and then the Team Aster logo, because that's where I'm at right now for them. There's so much talent on that team. There's some fantastic players, some big names, but they've looked horrible.
It feels like nothing's going right for them.
No.
What if you take their decision making, non-existent? If you talk about their picks, like what's happening? How do you end up with the draft like this?
I know.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, and that's the thing, is that there are like situations where there's individual moments of greatness in this team, but it doesn't solve like the glaring issues that are inherent with the drafts and with the decision making in games. So it feels like they need a revitalization. They got to bring it back together all for day number 2.
Yeah.
Last time we were here, we praised them so much because they played extremely well the first stage of the tournament, and after that, for them, everything was just downhill.
Yeah, it fell apart really, really quickly. And, the thing that we were talking about earlier as well is that you've got this situation where, like, they come in and they're thinking they're going to be playing with Love Me, Love You, and then Mushi is now the one that they're playing with, and it's like, how do you reconcile the different styles of these two players and, what they bring to the table? It's really tough.
Yeah. I kind of want them to put someone else in the captain's chair for a game or two and just see if it helps.
By God, is that Mushi music? He's coming up the high ground.
Yeah, he's...
Possibly.
Maybe it could work. Mushi's looked like the best player on the team in the last few games. He's got experience as well, so, could be an option. They need to try and get that playmaker hero for Mushi, I think, as well. The games where they've actually looked okay were the games in the China qualifier.
What do you mean? He played Ember Spirit. He bought Basher on the hero.
That was
what?
bad. That was bad. He needs the Puck or the Tiny. I think they need to get one of those two heroes for him.
I forgot about that. That was crazy.
That was something else.
That was a thing.
Actually, yeah, that was...
I thought that was a dream I
don't want to think about that too much. Anything else we're swiftly moving towards the game here, it looks like. But, wait. Oh, we
need to rejoin
the lobby. Okay, all right. Well, maybe we're not moving so swiftly.
We
do have our Group A standings. So like we were saying, we are actually pretty much wrapped up with Group A. It's the two teams at the top. We got Secret and Gambit. They're through no matter what. They're playing against each other tomorrow to determine seeding. OG are through in somewhere in the 3rd, 4th, no matter what happens. And then FTD are out.
Yeah.
Forward versus Mineski is the last relevant match there. And Mineski have to 2-0 to move on. One game is not going to be enough.
Man, it was so close to looking disastrous for Forward Gaming today, because they were playing the other match against OG on the first stream, and while that was going on, I saw that Jack tweeted out something after the game was done playing against OG and their Chen and PL. I was having flashbacks to TI8, and that was what knocked him out of the tournament as well, back in the day there as well, or knocked him down to the lower bracket, I should say. Regardless, it was just this really tough situation, but they got the win that they needed, and now they're going to be able to most likely move on if they can take care of business, because Mineski have to 2-0, if I'm not mistaken, also.
Yeah, winning a single game is enough for Forward to move on. So the fact that they split all those series 1-1 actually turned out to be very, very important for them. And we really thought that OG going 1-1 against Secret on the opening day was going to matter a lot, and it turned out to not really, no, because OG's well, I guess the surprise, and not so much of a surprise for people who've been following OG versus Gambit, but Gambit just 2-0'd OG, no problems, right? And they're the ones who are now who are guaranteed top 2 in this group.
And I guess you could say that it does matter the win over Secret because it put them up points ahead of the rest of the competition. If they don't get that win, suddenly they're in tiebreakers there, and then they might not be. They might be in contention for that knockout spot too.
Yeah. So over in Group B, it's still pretty interesting. We've got 2 teams at the top. It's Chaos and Fnatic, both 4-0 at the moment, but NIP probably also in that kind of OG territory where they're middle of the pack, but performance today could matter a lot. Anything for NIP that you guys have particularly liked? Any players that you feel like have had any standout performances? We haven't seen much of them on this stream, unfortunately. But.
NIP, when they started the season, they looked extremely good. Then not as good as I thought they're going to be. After they played with MC, this team looked like something else. Maybe it was because 33 needed some more time to adjust. He was mostly playing these cheesy heroes, and I feel like he's back. Like, he found his game, he's playing well, and this meta fits him.
I think that, like, Fata and Ace sort of fulfill weird roles for this team. Where like Ace was really best when he was part of that Secret team where he could sort of be that other guy that didn't need to like have a standout game. That he could have those amazing games, but like now I sort of feel like he's in a weird spot, and Fata also, where I'm not fully sold on he doesn't look as good as he's looked at other points in his career, at least to me.
They both have slightly more niche hero pools as well, right? When I think about the heroes that both of those players are known for, it's very much like sort of, you know, your lone druids, and then Fata's known for all this weird mech mid stuff, and you know, his Puck is not a weird hero necessarily, but the way that their hero pools connect with the current meta is a little bit more tenuous than, say, some of the other tier 1 teams.
But he is known for his Razor too.
Yes,
and Razor's,
he is 100%.
Razor's here.
Oh yeah, that's his hero. Dragonite as well. And Dragonite received some of the buffs, and I feel like this is the hero that has a couple of bad matchups, but most of the time he doesn't.
Mushi doesn't have
lose.
a role.
Not available.
He also doesn't have a face, apparently.
Yeah, we didn't even unlock his character yet.
Not yet. But
I mean, that's because he got changed in at the last second,
look,
right?
we said he's like the standout player so far for Aster, but apparently not looking so on this graphic. And we do have a draft already unfolding for you guys, so we'll hopefully get you in there in just a second. NIP versus Aster, game 1, and NIP waste no time coming straight in with the Nature's Prophet. It's been a big hero this event, the Nature's Prophet. Is that a surprise for you guys at all, or do you feel like that's still on trend for?
It reminds me a lot of what we saw in the EU qualifiers be really effective. And we were talking about it backstage a little bit, about sort of the strength of this hero, particularly for when OG is playing it. That and Ember Spirit, to me, looked like two of the standouts. And I think that it is something that's specific for their team, but also this hero is just so strong inherently because of like winning the lanes. You know, if you do manage to like get a slight edge somewhere, maybe you can just TP him in and then you can find a kill. It's the same type of thing as the Chen, which is also going to be banned out in the first phase here.
What do you feel like the answer to this Nature's Prophet is?
Ban it.
Just ban it?
Ban it.
Ban it. Just get out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a strong hero because he dominates the lanes. You have this global presence coming out of him, but he's extremely squishy. If you have heroes, we've seen that, like a Storm Spirit, Nyx Assassin, Ember Spirits. They're extremely good against a hero like this, but you don't want to pick to counter a Nature's Prophet who's most likely going to be position 5.
Right, and we even saw the thing where they were like Puppy was using sprouts to give his carry more regen from his tangos.
Yeah.
Like
next level.
I think that this hero just does so much right now, and it changes the way that you have to play Dota. That any hero that has that dynamic is just inherently going to be really, really strong. And I'm not sure if I love the Team Aster draft so far.
Yeah, I think
they've only picked 2 heroes, Gabe.
They picked the Bat Rider, though.
They opened up in one of their games yesterday with the Bat Rider. It ended up being position 4. Bat Rider.
Yeah, but Boca played it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And that's really my problem with it, is that I think if this is somebody else, then I'm fine with it. But opening Sven Bat Rider, that's that is most likely going to the offlane, and that reveals a lot in the early goings of this draft.
Oh, Shadow Demon. You guys have been telling me about Shadow Demon. I haven't seen it. What's the deal? Is Lacoste?
His spells became better. Mana cost on his 2 spells got buffed a lot, so he can actually use the spells. This hero had a lot of issues with maintaining mana, casting spells after he cast them initially. And he can be played as a mid. He can be played as 4/5. Yep. It's extremely good against Batrider to save people that are lassoed.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things that I see here. And it's not just that, but also in the laning stage, if somebody gets gone on by, Firefly, it's not really a great save, but it's more a save by, imprisoning the Batrider and not letting them just run over you.
True. He did get a big buff with the level 1 Shadow Poison mana cost, right? I think it almost got halved. So that was a very, very significant buff. What's the skill build that you guys have been seeing?
You just need to max out Shadow Poison right now.
Max Poison?
Yeah.
Okay, people aren't bothering with multiple points in Catcher?
Not really.
No.
Okay, interesting.
The other thing about this here that's pretty cool is if we're talking about, sort of either any type of a stacking-oriented game, you can do a ton of that with Shadow Demon. You can get, hypothetically, 4 stacks off simultaneously. Yeah. If people have been practicing, which I'm sure they have.
The theory craft is always there, right?
Yeah.
People are like, I stacked the entire Dire jungle in one.
It's not that hard to get 3 though.
That's
3 is easy.
3 is easy for sure. Though we aren't really seeing a huge amount of stack-based Dota, but it could be something that we look at for NIP here.
Yeah.
So Ember getting banned. I think that Ember is actually, I was looking at it earlier today, it's the most picked hero of the event. It's not the most contested. I think that's Lifestealer. He's getting banned a lot. But at least at the beginning of the day, Ember had close to 15 games or something.
Yeah, we didn't see too much out of Ember, at least not on our stream.
Not on our stream.
Yeah, but as expected, Ember received huge buffs. We see a different kind of a skill build on him, just maxing Sleight of Fist, so to lower the cooldown, and you can deal a lot of damage from far away.
I think that it's just this hero that, and the Sleight of Fist buffs, the other thing about it that's really cool is that it means that it's not as bad maxing it early in terms of damage, and that buffs the other element of getting it, which is the cooldown reduction. So it means that this hero can come online fighting with long catch earlier than you would have otherwise, because you're able to have multiple Sleights of Fists and chains in a fight. And that's so cool. I really, really like it.
We see more and more mid laners ganking before they even get level 6, just ganking the side lane, especially when there's a 3 versus 3 scenario, to grab a kill and TP back to a lane, just to secure their own safe lane.
I think when I get home, I'm just going to spam Ember. That's all I'm going to do.
You're not going to spam auto chess?
I mean, that's going to be the next thing I do afterwards, as soon as they calibrate, right?
Yeah. 10 games of Ember and then auto chess.
Amazing.
Okay, Aster now grabbing the Tiny. Neither team leaning into team fight all too much just yet. Do you think we are going to be seeing any big ultimates coming out? Or are NIP still going to be playing this kind of fast-paced, low cooldown Dota?
It's hard to say. And NIP has a variety of heroes that they're playing. And with Shadow Demon, Nature's Prophet, they can set up ganks so easily. Shadow Demon, someone either TPs, and then Nature's Prophet comes, so they can easily outnumber them. And talking about big team fight ultis, here's the watermelon.
The reason that I like it, and I think it's really good against what Aster is doing, is because what we saw from Aster and the way that they played around the Batrider and the support position was that they were like, all right, we're just going to play pick-off Dota. And now NIP is like, okay, if you're going to try and do pick-off Dota, then we're going to just walk into you as 5. And you're going to lasso a Tide, he's going to be the one that's out front in these fights.
Ooh.
And that is full-on double bubble action going on.
So what's the damage in Chrono? That's what I'm afraid of. They need the last hero to be their damage.
We get some Fata Invoker.
Lina, Murana. Actually, yeah, Invokers doesn't seem very good at the moment, but Chrono Cataclysm is a combo.
Yeah.
So could be something that you look at.
And
here.
you kind of have the setup for Sunstrikes early with like just Shadow Demon too.
Yeah, we have. It's been a very long time since I've seen Disruption Sunstrikes, but I'm down.
That's the thing that's a little bit weird about it is that it's not for the kill, which is normally how you want those things to do. Usually,
you're using it for the damage,
right?
Yeah.
And then
Invoker's not getting the benefit of it being a global kill.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what else? Like
If they want to go all in,
Sprout Sunstrike,
like with team fighting abilities, they could go for Death Prophet. We've seen this hero a couple of times, or they can go Pugna. It's extremely good against Juggernaut. It could be a core Sven, and it gives them a lot of damage in the Chronosphere and creates a lot of space on the map for Faithless Way to actually get his items.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these Huskar bans into Death Prophet picks. It's like the heroes fulfill kind of that same role where Huskar is the one that's maybe a little bit more cheesy and scary. And maybe Aster feel like they could play around a DP.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, are Aster really afraid of Huskar?
5 seconds remaining.
I guess their burst is okay. I guess it is just that kind of cheese factor that you're talking about, Gabe.
Yeah.
If you're NIP and you're thinking about picking this Pugna, are there counter picks that you're worried about? They have to be one step ahead in this draft because they don't have the last overall pick that is going to fall to Aster.
And that's the thing about Pugna. That's why we see him as a 10th pick or as the last ban most of the time. This hero doesn't have that many bad matchups.
Yeah, like the only thing I can think of that he wouldn't want to play into is like a Nyx or something. That's not what you're taking for your mid.
Yeah.
Radiant team pick.
So Dragonite's the ban. NIP are thinking that I guess that we're still looking at Mushi's hero coming in or a mid lane hero. I still think that Mushi has looked really good on Tiny a little bit recently, but I don't know if that's how they're going to set this game. They can kind of do whatever. Aster can set this up almost any way, right? Like Jug's going to be a core, but everybody else they can kind of flex somewhat.
I'm thinking about maybe OD. If they want to have like this double save and then Juggernaut is not going to have a game, it's a lot of damage in Chrono as well. They're running out of time. 5 seconds left. It's green hero, that's for sure.
Team pick.
Heyo, Pugna. I think this Jug pick is terrible. Looking at it again and these heroes that they've got, like Shadow Demon, I think just completely owns him. You summon those illusions of himself. You can purge him. I don't think that this Jug is going to get to really play Dota this game.
All right, this Timbersaw pick
This might change things around.
changes things for sure. They don't have any kind of a counter for Timbersaw. Their damage is pretty static.
I think Pugna early can maybe punish him some. I think Fada has to have a really good game.
The time dilation's annoying, right? For the Timbersaw,
That's
you're going to have
true,
to itemize against that.
Mushi Timber.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
All right. Well, we've seen the drafts. Gabe, what's your read?
I really
Who
don't
you
like
got?
the Jug pick. I think that Jug is not going to have a good game this time, so I'm taking NIP all the way.
I'll say NIP as well. It's going to be a really tough Juggernaut game because of 2 saves, time walk. He's not going to have a target to go on. And even though they have this Timbersaw, I think they can still play around him. Every time I see Timber, if he gets a good start, you need to play as far away from him as possible. Just focus on other lanes.
The caveat I will say is that maybe in the laning stage, he might be able to get a lot done against the Tide. That's one area where maybe the Juggernaut has a good time. So we'll see how that works out. That's probably why they picked it.
If they can get some kills on the Tide early on. Yeah, it did seem like a little bit of a reactionary pick, essentially. I guess the other thing for the Jug this game is that there's going to be treants just floating around everywhere in every fight. It's really annoying, actually, if there's just random summons floating around and then your Omnislash gets diverted.
Illusions.
Yeah, the SD illusions could be annoying as well. It'll be interesting. Any highlights for Aster other than the Timbersaw? Do you feel like, is it a good Batrider game? They've got Bat Sven as their 2 supports, which is weird, but anything can work, right?
I think the cool thing that might be there is like stealing the stacks Batrider if they decide to do some stacking for the Tide Hunter. So that's what I'm going to watch for.
I think they put priority to Tiny's farm because they want to have a good timing on a Blink Dagger, and Pugna, Shadow Demon, Nature's Prophet, they are squishy heroes, Void to one extent as well. So if Tiny has a good game and if Timbersaw has a good game, Aster has a really good chance of winning this.
Yeah, just have to get off to that start.
And just have a good game, just have good lanes and win games. It's as easy as that.
Yeah. We've moved past the well, it used to be certain heroes who were just win lane, lose game, right? It doesn't seem to be quite as much these days. So we'll see how this all goes. When do things get difficult for the Pugna against the Timber? Like, what kind of level are we talking? Is it level 6 for the Timbersaw that he needs? Or is it earlier than that?
I don't think you can threaten a kill on Pugna, especially when he gets level 6. Both of these heroes are going to farm. Pugna's going to have advantage first couple of levels, but once Timbersaw hits level 3, level 5, that's going to be a lot of region on this Timber.
Yep.
But depends. If Timber tries to overextend, he has a lot of physical damage reduction. Pugna hits level 6 before him. He doesn't have a Timber chain. A lot of kill potential from Pugna.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot from PPD, just starting off with the Blightstone, lots of damage on the Nature's Prophet, just going to be kind of zoning a little bit here. NIP do opt to put their Void in the off lane, and they're going to be running the Tidehunter in the safe lane here. Are they just trying to get the Void away from the Batrider, or what's the matchup reason here?
Good question, though.
Yeah. What's the reasoning? Do they not want the Void to play against the...
I think Void is going to have a better
Tiny?
time on a top lane, considering the fact that he's playing against the Juggernaut. So he can just time walk away. Even if they stun him, he's really not threatened about Blade Fury kill. And usually Juggernaut is really good against the Tidehunter, because Tidehunter has damage reduction, physical damage, and he relies on magical damage early on.
So far, nothing too crazy happening. It's just 2-on-2 lanes. We do have, it looks like Saxhead playing around a little bit with Fenrir over in the jungle, but did he actually successfully pull that over into the
Oh, he
into
didn't
the
get
camp?
the last hit with Stormhammer. Bummer.
But yeah, Saxhead was trying to steal the creep wave, it looks like, and wasn't quite able to actually bring it all the way around. Fenrir kind of interrupting it, so a little bit annoying for NIP, and it looks like the lane position is going to end up settling somewhere that Aster are actually kind of happy with. They're doing pretty well in the CS across the board so far. I mean, it's still only 2 minutes into the game, but good sign for Aster, like you said. Just need to play some solid dotes.
They just play good, and
Yeah,
the
just
results are
play
going to be
good,
Yeah.
don't play bad. that's how you win Dota. First rule of Dota.
And every time Pugna uses the Cripify on Mushi to stop him from last hitting, he just pops Whirling Death and gets the last hit.
It's kind of low at the moment, but he does have a healing salve ready to go. So Fada, if he had any chance of killing him, it's going to be gone very, very soon.
Tiny's doing extremely good on bottom. 14 CS on him.
Yeah, the support Batrider is actually zoning out the Tide pretty effectively, and PPD not able to play quite as aggressively as I think he would normally like with the Nature's Prophet. 33 has gone for quite a defensive build, no early point in the Gush or anything like that. He has just opted to pick up the Kraken Shell nice and early. So they don't have a whole lot of kill potential down here. Oh, lots of stacks on PPD. That's 5 stacks now as he gets knocked back by the Flame Break. It's taking him a little bit, but PPD still surviving. But Boca maybe overextending under the tower. And 33 will be the one to grab that kill with one last donk. He did level up to 3, got the Gush, and that got them the kill.
It's a really bad engagement from Aster. They're trying to dive the tower, gets gushed, and just dies.
Yeah, and they were winning this lane anyway, so...
They were trying to make an action into 2 full creep waves as well.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of creeps here waiting for XXS. There's a regen rune waiting down bottom, but nobody scouted that just yet. Would be nice for Fada if he could get down there, but just doesn't have any idea that it's waiting. And actually, the replacement rune is going to be spawning soon, in the next 30 seconds. Up top. A little bash for Ace, but it's just damage being traded back and forth. This is a double melee lane for Aster, and there's always the possibility of the time walk away or defensive disruption. So not really too much danger. As I say that, stun comes in, defensive disruption comes out, and Ace is going to be okay. Though that damage does end up sticking. Now on Baboka, this rune might just get, yeah, it's going to disappear away from right in front of him. Mushi will instead get the double damage over at top.
I mean, if he doesn't use disruption, there he can time walk. Sven stuns.
Yeah, right after
7
that's
seconds.
true, yeah. I guess he was worried about maybe some crits from the jug or something.
Yeah,
but he
3
also
crits in
could have
a
time
row.
walked that, so. XXS getting gushed at bottom. He's actually pretty low. These
Minus
auto
6
attacks.
armor.
Tiny doesn't have any armor to work with. Nice flame break from Baboka. We'll push them back. But still, poor old XXS. That was pretty tough. He's going to pick up a bottle here, heals up a little bit. They do want to try and contest these 5-minute bounties. And both teams moving into position very aggressively for this. They've even got Fada's Pugna running his way down here. Baboka trying to take to the skies, getting up over the cliff. He's going to be okay. XXS tossing the Tide back over towards the tower, but there's too many creeps here. So 33 is actually just fine.
They're going to go for him.
And
He has
yeah.
20 stick charges.
Yeah, he's got one bottle sip, but that's about it. Can he get another toss? No, he won't be able to. 33 is completely happy with getting tossed back to that tower. And just
Good play
ends up
from
grabbing the
NIP.
kill.
They even use the glyph on creeps, so Tiny can't kill the creep wave and go back fast to try to pick up a bounty rune.
Oh,
Toss back.
33. Oh, okay. Toss back. 33 now running just in the opposite direction. Pops the salve and keeps on going. He can just, can potentially just TP. The Avalanche was already used, so he's fine. He didn't even TP back to base, just TPs to the tower. Mushi is running at Fada. Now with the Chakram, Fada slowed down a lot. A little bit of damage from the Timber Chain is all that they're going to need, and that is a solo kill for the Mushi Timbersaw. He said that he was in the highlight for the team, and looking good now as well.
The thing is, Pugna left the lane, and the Timbersaw got level 6 before him, and whoever gets level 6 in this lane has a lot of kill potential.
So if you're the Pugna, what do you do now? Do you still just sit in this lane and spam and farm? You're never going to take the tower against the Timber, so...
He needs levels, for sure.
He
So
just
he's
has to
going to
stay here.
stick around, maybe if he grabs a good rune so he can gank the side lane. An Invis, a haste rune would be perfect.
Success getting going on at bottom as we do also have a jump at mid. Fada in a little bit of trouble. Mushi with the Chakram. Slowing down Fada. Can they knock it back into it? They won't be able to. Baboka's still chasing. Fada does have one more blast. The Decrepify back off cooldown. Saksa also getting involved. Mushi's chasing after him. Doesn't have that many reactive armor stacks though. Looking for the Timber Chain away. Fenrir doesn't quite have the damage, and with a TP in as well from PPD. It will be NIP finding the turnaround after all is said and done. Saksa, can they take him down with the Flame Break? Baboka from downtown actually finishes that kill, so it will end up being just a 1-for-1 on the position 5s. Nothing too crazy. And that's really about it.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Tidehunter got his level 6. Doesn't have too much mana to work with, but if they want to make a rotation on the bottom lane, it's an easy setup with the Ravage.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to see. Do you think it's worth it to just pop Ravage for one kill?
For a single
at this
kill?
point?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Early on, you should not be afraid of using Ravage, using Black Hole to get a kill.
All right, PPD just TPing out here to refill Fada's bottle, keeping him in fighting shape. We do have the... Oh, what are they doing here? Just blasting Timber a little bit. Void's farming decently, kind of middle of the pack. The Jug also doing well. The lead CS actually more on the position 3 and position 2 this game. Fada in a little bit of danger, but Chakram not slowing him down too much. Fenrir's being disrupted, but looks like this was mostly just a battle for that Arcane Rune. Not really anything too interesting. Mushi, in terms of the item build, has just picked up some Arcanes so far. Well, what do you think we're going to see from him?
Holy Locket.
Holy Locket?
Let's go. Yule Scepter is great this game because they kind of lack catch. Since Batrider is playing position 4, it's great against Faceless Void. If he's not caught in Chronosphere, he can always Yule Scepter him. You know what I don't want to see? A Bloodstone.
Bloodstone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the approved Timbersaw item list, and Bloodstone is not on there. Lacoste will dock you points if you go for the Bloodstone first. New Bloodstone's kind of a weird item, it feels like. It's not as mana regen focused as it once was.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he just put Holy Locket
Nice.
in his quick
Lacoste
buy.
approved. Give it that seal of approval. Pull out your stamp. Okay, action at the mid. 33 TPing in. He's got the Ravage at the ready, and that is going to mean that everyone just gets the hell out of there. Aster do not want anything to do with that fight. And NIP might actually be able to continue this pressure. Fada's still got a decent amount of mana, but 33 is just heading away, running over towards bottom. So Aster looks like they will be able to hold this. They got enough spam, and they've got Mushi, who at this point is still looking pretty much untouchable. I don't think they have the tools to be able to kill him. But what are you thinking build-wise? Okay, well, there you go. Void's going to be going for Battle Fury this game. Do you like the choice for Ace? Battle Fury on the Void?
I'm not a big fan of Battle Fury anymore.
10-minute bouncer in battle coming in. Baboka is hasted running in here. 33 stands his ground, though. Baboka needing to be a little bit careful. PPD thinks about the TPN, but can't necessarily sprout the fire-flying Batrider, so...
And the good thing about Holy Locket on Timbersaw is the recent change where you don't need Void Stone. You need the component from Mana Boots.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy build-up.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10-minute Holy Locket. What up?
He went from unkillable to even more unkillable. There you go. Sylar taking some more auto attacks here. Hasn't really shown us his build just yet either. Hopefully no Midas, fingers crossed.
I mean, if you want to go full greed on heroes like Phantom Assassin, Juggernaut, just go for Battle Fury instead of Hand of Midas.
All right, 33 healing up quite a bit with his Vlads. XXS can't really do too much to him there. XXS still just farming towards his Blink Tag. It's going to take him a little while to get there.
Oh, Shadow Demon steals the tower from Timbersaw. There's no way
damn.
Timbersaw is going to get that tower because Shadow Demon had Disruption ready.
So that's pretty nice for NIP. Timber TPing up top, but Aster don't really have any setup here. They're just hoping to defend the tower, maybe get a deny of their own. But this Mushi rotation isn't really going to amount to too much. Vada wants to blast it, and he is going to get it. This might cost him his life. Wrath of Nature bouncing through. Vada, can he survive? He's got the decrep. He's actually life draining now. Chronosphere coming out. Do they have the damage to kill the Timbersaw? I am doubtful. Sylar's also got himself a healing ward to help him out. They're looking for a few more bashes. Fenrir is the much easier kill, and they will just settle for that as NIP do manage to bring down that tier 1 tower. So the Mushi rotation not really amounting to anything there.
Because he had no mana.
Yeah.
He had no Soul Ring. He needs a mana item for sure.
Yep.
Yule Scepter.
Oh, 33 just donking this tower. Aster running around to try and defend these lanes, but they don't have the catch. So NIP are free to just sit and poke and prod, use the blast to its fullest.
Pretty even game so far. Tiny, once he gets his Blink Dagger up, this is the time when Aster is gonna try to play aggressive.
Yeah, that's really their timing. Do you feel like there's anything more that their supports could be doing, or are the Batrider and Sven just destined to not really do a whole... Oh my god, Ace time walks forward and finds a quick courier kill. That is not good for Aster. It's a lot of extra gold going NIP's way. They're now up 3K.
So you ask about two supports inside of Aster.
Yeah.
Batrider can't really make the movement. Maybe he can try to snap someone if they're pushing the tower, go over the trees, grab a kill. This Sven is really poor. He does not even have Boots of Speed. He needs 350.
Oh, look away. I don't even want to see this. This is, yeah, no, this poor Sven is really, really struggling. Mushi doing a little bit better, but yeah, poor Fenrir not really getting a whole lot done. And now XXS in a bit of trouble. Yeah, they do have a little bit of a turnaround coming in from Mushi. Baboka has got the lasso. Ravage looking for the turnaround. Fada does have all of his spells available and some wand charges. He gets the drain going. That's keeping him alive. XXS almost completely drained out. One more auto attack from 33. Finishes the kill. Mushi does get the turnaround with the chakram, but he's now being slowed down. The time dilation also upon him. But NIP do not want to continue the chase. Mushi's got just enough mana in the tank for another couple of spells. And that is going to make NIP hesitate about going for that kill.
Yeah, I wish Juggernaut had the mana and try to TP. They're making an action near their tier 1 tower. There should be some kind of a response.
At least we haven't seen the Omnislash used just yet from Sylar, right? So he's playing a very passive, very farm-oriented game. He's going for the Battle Fury. Nice enough item. I'm just glad not to see the Midas, to be honest.
Yeah, he just wanted to upgrade the Quelling Blade because of Nature's Prophet.
Learn the lessons of Arteezy. You know, if Arteezy has taught carry players anything, it's make sure you have some way to cut down trees against Nature's Prophet. Anyway, Mushi getting stacked up a bit, but he does not care at all. Oh, now another battle for these bounty runes. Ace does have a Chronosphere at the ready. XXS coming out of that disruption, looking for something more here, but can't quite find it. Still struggling to finish off that last little bit of gold for his Blink Dagger. And you called that out as the timing for Aster. So it really hurts that they lost XXS in that last engagement.
Yeah, it's delaying his Blink Dagger, and they can't play aggressive. Once he gets his Blink Dagger, Tidehunter might even have a full pipe ready.
And then at that point, can Aster even take a team fight? With Vlad's and Pipe on the NIP side, this Tide is just getting kind of out of control. The new Tidehunter does farm pretty darn fast with Anchor Smash. Okay, we got an attempted wraparound here from the trees. Fada's pretty fast. He's just going to try and run it out, but they do get the lasso over onto him. Decrep coming back off cooldown soon. He manages to block a lot of the damage, and they can't interrupt this life drain. Baboka's just circling him, and Aster will finally finish off the kill. There wasn't any help in the neighborhood, and Baboka was still fine. He had 19 wand charges up his sleeve, so yeah, Fada just getting caught out a little bit. And Baboka, I have to say, for having no items on this Batrider, has actually been pretty successful with finding these lassos so far. That's two decent lasso ganks.
Yeah, good build on him. Tranquil Boots is building towards drums, extra wind lace for the movement speed. It's easy to execute the gank like that.
Yeah. And you need every little bit of move speed against a hero like Pugna, who's also incredibly fast. Fenrir's finally got boots. Okay, we can bear to look at him now. He's still not necessarily farming all that much, but he's at least got more than 1,000 net worth, which is a much better position than he found himself in.
Yeah, he has maxed stun on Sven. It really makes no sense. Like, it's not like you're fighting. Lowering the cooldown is not gonna be that great. You wanna lower the cooldown on Warcry to bring more into a team fight.
Yeah, he is using it to farm a little bit, but I can totally see your point. Mushi wants this tower, but I don't know if he's really going to be able to get it. 33 comes around the corner as well. And they will just get this quick deny. So that's 2 out of 2 tier 1 towers that Aster have taken actually being denied. They're jumping it, but I don't think the Tidehunter is really the target that you want. They throw him over towards the Timbersaw. He's got decent damage, but 33 managing to juke him out for now. And 33's actually got a Desolator queued up for this Tidehunter. They're chasing it a little bit further. They get PPD, dragging him back over. XXS really wants this kill onto 33, but he gets the Ravage out at the last moment. That's just going to save him. They haven't TP'd anyone else in here. And 33, is this actually going to be an escape? Mushi's still diving in pretty deep. Fada trying to keep him alive with that life drain, but Mushi, that last tiny bit of mana that he had in reserve will be enough to finish the kill. Fada retreating into the base. They've got another stun, but not enough mana to continue chasing. NIP, what are they finding while this is going on? Sylar is the target up top. They're going to drop the Chronosphere. They need to finish off the healing ward quickly, and Juggernaut's still surviving. He's fine.
I don't know what these Chronos are. Like, they literally have 0 damage in Chronosphere if Pugna is dead.
Yeah, especially with this build from him. He doesn't even have the Demon Edge. He's running around with the Perseverance. That was... I think NIP looked at that bottom fight and kind of told themselves, hey, look, if we're not going to TP and fight bottom, then we have to make something happen at top. But yeah, they did not have the damage, not even close. And at this point, Aster feeling like they're kind of online. The Jug is farming well. Sylar, if there's anything that he knows how to do, it is just find farm. Probably a fairly standard item progression for him from this point forward. Pick up a Manta. Maybe get a Blink Dagger a little bit later on. And NIP, they've sort of got two different things going on in the lineup, right? It feels like everybody except the Void at this point is fairly keen to fight and make stuff happen. And Ace is just going to be completely AFK farming and not really participating for a little while.
Yeah, even 33 decided to go for Midas 18 minutes in.
Oh, okay. Because he had the pipe queued up, then he queued up a Desolator, and now he's going Midas. Okay, so NIP seem like they want to take this late game. Nice jump away from Ace. We'll be able to get out of the Avalanche. Aster. All right, they just walk away from the Pugna. The lockdown is not there from NIP.
I can understand the Deso choice because right now they lack damage. They literally have no damage. Especially if Pugna is dead. They can't take a fight.
They're hovering around here. This is just a bounty rune battle. It looks like NIP are going to get the 2 up here. PPD trying to swipe one away at bottom, but Baboka will be able to grab it. PPD getting chased now, but does just manage to phase boot away.
Oh yeah, Timbersaw, 100 damage talent, level 15. Let's go.
Let's go. This is the true tower hitter. Ace, need to be very careful. Time walk back off cooldown soon. Looks like he should be able to escape. Some space created. Who are you favoring at the moment? This game feels pretty close. NIP's supports don't necessarily seem to be getting that much done. We do have a Necro Book on PPD, so they've got some pretty good push going, other than the fact that the Void isn't really that interested in fighting. Though, as I say that, he's smoked up and making a rotation. You said that they didn't have the damage in the Chrono unless they brought along the Pugna. Well, there you go. Pugna's coming along for this gank as well.
They want to grab this tier 1 tower. I'm not sure if Aster wants to react to it.
Baboka looks like he will be scouting this one out. Are they going to bother with the Chronosphere for this kill? Jug's coming in, trying to help out with the healing ward. It's not going to be enough. XXS jumping forward, finds his first target onto Saksa. There is going to be a defensive disruption, keeping himself alive, but the rest of Aster arrive, and that will just end up being a support for support trade as they clear out the little bit of push that's happening towards the tower. PPD planting some more impossible observer wards, TPing around with his Nature's Prophet, but I don't know. That was a big swing from NIP, but not really much of a connection, bringing all those heroes to the bottom.
Yeah, there's a reason why Juggernaut did not use a single ulti this game. We discussed after the picks that he doesn't have the target to go on. Time Walk, Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon, Disruption, Pugna's Decrypify. He needs to have a vision in a team fight what's happening, whether he can use the ulti or not.
Does that get better later on, do you think? Can he itemize in a way that improves the situation?
We saw Nullifier from FTD. That was extremely good.
Yeah, certainly nice item to have. Though this game, there is save from some of the other people as well. So like you go on the Pugna, and maybe he can't decrepify himself or something, but, well, not because of the Nullifier, but there's always a disruption. Or
he's going to need to wait with his ult. He can't really initiate, grab a kill, and then fight 5 versus 4.
Mushi with a very heal-focused build has picked up the Guardian Greaves now on the Timber. We were speculating on what his answer was going to be to the time dilation, and didn't really talk about the Greaves. We talked about Yules and we talked about Lotus.
Greaves. Approved 100%.
Okay, that's
this
also
is a great
on the
item in
list.
Timbersaw. Yeah, I still think he needs a Yule Scepter.
Like an actual, some more mana regen somewhere. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. He's only got 3.5. Or at least buy some Clarities, Mushi. That would be good. Got a couple of talents coming in for NIP, but at this point, it feels like they're very much just farming for their Void. There's some similarities on both sides, right? It feels like neither carry is very confident of their ultimate actually finding kills, so instead they're just hitting creeps and hoping that the situation improves once they have maybe 3 or 4 items. And this is a fairly scary game later on with the Void Chronosphere. They got the big AoE combinations, but like you said, the Void needs to be doing a lot of damage himself because it's only the Pugna really pumping stuff in. Oh, bit of trouble for Sylar. A little bit late on using that spin, but still spins through and will be okay. Goes straight back to farming as well. I love that. You're in danger, and there's a creep camp.
It feels like Nature's Prophet is not buying wards anymore. Feels like Shadow Demon is the one who's buying wards, and slowly Nature's Prophet becoming kind of right-click. He has 30 damage talent, has a Blightstone, he can also split push, has Necro 1, also almost has a Shadow Blade finished. He might even upgrade that to Silver Edge against the Timbersaw at one point.
Yep. NIP going for another smoke here. They have Ace leading the way, but Aster have a bunch of heroes waiting up on the high ground. They seem to suspect that something's going on here. Fenrir breaks the smoke. They see Ace. He jumps forward, but XXS jumps into the backlines. They're keeping 33 away. They want to go for Saksa first. They bring him down as a 2-man chrono, but it's just the supports. Now the Ravage coming through. What else can they find? They have brought down XXS. Sylar doing his best with the Omni Slash. Can he finally finish off 33? He hasn't been able to just yet, though. They will chase him down after all is said and done. Mushi jumping around, looks at PPD, but that's all that he can do. Nothing to interrupt his TP out. And the overall fight is just going to be an offlaner and a support dying on either side. Numbers favoring Aster just a little bit on the Golden experience.
Yeah, again, NIP with this draft lacking damage in Chronosphere. They need to repick one of those heroes and...
There was that weird, was it the MLG, like a Red Bull tournament where they had that custom mode where you could have multiple heroes per person, and did you watch that?
No.
No, okay, never mind. That was very much the idea that you're hinting at there, but Aster, yeah, they just seem to be kind of cruising. They survived through the double big ulti, and now they've got a few minutes where they can do whatever they want while those big ultimates are on cooldown. Aster, NIP still doing their best with the split push. They got a Blink Dagger now up on Baboke. He's got the lasso in 3 seconds time. They're considering their options here. They have decent vision in the area. And actually, Aster going to make the call to just head into the Roshan pit. Sylar going for a very heavy damage build. Going to be picking up the Butterfly after the Manta. And doesn't really seem like there's any way for NIP to contest this.
There's no chrono for 20 seconds. There's no Ravage for 45 seconds. Good call from Aster. NIP definitely can't contest this Roche. One thing that concerns me on Aster's side is that Tiny, after a good start that he had, he basically has no items. They're prioritizing someone else's farm, and this is the hero that you want to scale, because you can't really rely just on Jug to deal the damage.
Ooh, Baboke in a little bit of trouble, but he's still on the run. Looks like he will be able to get the blink back off cooldown, and that's going to get him out of there. We do also have the Nature's Prophet just shadow blading away. And Mushi chasing after him, but it looks like PPD is going to be just fine. And the Aegis now up on Sylar. Still a net worth lead in NIP's favor, but it does kind of feel like control of this game is starting to move over towards Aster. Though, like you're saying, Tiny's net worth looking real bad. Oh, they're both farming the same camp. There you go.
So no one wants to make an action now.
Yeah.
Even with Aegis, you know, Sylar. It's time to hit some more creeps.
Sure. He's got another item to farm. That Wraith Band needs to be upgraded into a Butterfly. So I want to go back to talking about, do you feel like, does one team have clearly better late game here? Like, is double Ravage just going to be the be-all, end-all of this game? Does the Jug eventually get to the point where he just tears through everybody with Omni Slash? What's your read, or is it just close? And
I feel like it's really close. None of these heroes scale that well. Pugna's gonna fall off. You have Sven, Timbersaw. Tiny's not getting too much farm, so pretty even in my book.
Baboke jumping in. He looked for Fada there, but there's going to be a jump away. Baboke.
Sylar, what are you doing? Those are not creeps.
Hitting the tier 3. They do have 33 split pushing a little bit at top, but he runs into the tier 2, and they are going to send back. There you go, Lacoste. Sylar's found some creeps. He's okay. Ace also doing the same thing, just pushing out over at bottom. Also going for the same item. He's just buying a butterfly. Not going to be going for a BKB at all this game. It's butterfly into Lincoln Sphere is the choice.
Now, I feel like he's tanky enough with SNY, status resistance, and...
They've got the disruption save as
yeah,
well.
and he also has -1 second time wall cooldown. Talent, I mean, so he can survive. If he can just survive through initial burst of Tiny or Batrider ulti, he's fine.
Sylar playing pretty far up here, but he doesn't have the backup of his team. NIP are somewhat moving to surround him, but they haven't brought Ace over just yet. It does seem like they're hesitant about taking this fight into the Aegis. The Pugna not going to be going for more damage. Fada does have a Hex queued up, but he hasn't committed for any of the components. So if he decided that he wanted an Ags or a Dagon or something, that is still a possibility for him. Do you like the choice of the Hex this game?
They need a bit more control. Yeah, after they use their stuff, a Ravage, a Chronosphere, they're gonna run into a problem if this fight prolongs.
They found Ace,
Batrider.
they're dragging him back over. Can they keep him here? The stuns are coming out. Ace is still pretty tanky. Good chain stun from Aster. Ace couldn't find the opportunity to jump himself out. And that is a huge pickoff for Aster to find. They do have to take some time to reset the lanes now, but still a decent chunk on this Aegis. So maybe a little bit of an opportunity here to make a play.
There's the Silver Edge on Nature's Prophet I was talking about. They have few ways to deal with Timbersaw. There's Spirit Vessel, there's Silver Edge, but he can dispel Spirit Vessel with the Guardian Greaves, doesn't have any other kind of a dispel.
Yeah, and of course the break only means that he doesn't get any additional stacks. He still keeps all of the stacks that he's already got, so... a little bit of a counter, but this is a very beefy Timber that we're looking at. Mushi's already picked up a Bloodstone. He's got another Plate Mail on top of that. I don't quite know how they kill him at this point. And
Bloodstone as a third item is...
approved?
Is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't just really rush this item. Because he lacks mana reach. Now he doesn't have to go heal ever.
Yeah, you can constantly stay on the map, keep on pressuring, drag these waves. PPD trying to cut at bottom. They are going to drain out Sylar, loses the Aegis. Aster still hanging around here. All the big AoE teamfight ultimates available for NIP. They are going to go in here. They're looking for this Sylar kill. Can they keep this Juggernaut alive? It looks like they will be able to. He gets the spin off. The Ravage is a little bit late, and Sylar's just spinning on out of here as now they've got the lasso over onto Ace. He jumps back defensively. Omnislash bouncing around. Sylar's found one kill already, and they're looking for more. PPD getting chased down. Mushi finds him inside of that Sprout. No problem whatsoever. Fada from the high ground looking for Sylar once again, but the spin will save him.
Man, 33, he blinked into Chronosphere, so he couldn't use the Ravage.
No. And Aster just going to keep on going. They're all looking relatively healthy. XXS going to look for the toss back here onto Saksa, finds himself in harm's way, stunned up. Ace trying to lay into Mushi a little bit with the auto attacks, but he's barely tickling him.
This is game. They're going to take 3 side of Raxus. NIP can't fight without Chrono, without Ravage.
And with this, Group B is getting really interesting. We had 2 teams at the bottom, 0 and 4. Aster now looks like they've regrouped a little bit for day number 2, and yeah, it does very much seem like they're going to be taking this game off of NIP.
They're really anticlimactic ending. They're still going to keep pushing. They have Void with Battle Fury. They have Nature's Prophet ulti, so they can try to shove out the waves, but they're going to be playing against Mega Creeps.
Yeah, well, looks like we're going to have one last fight. 33 walking into the middle of it with a BKB, but they're just completely ignoring him. Mushi in the backlines making all of this space. Couple more auto attacks onto Sylar, but not going to be able to kill him. It's not Mega Creeps just yet as Aster are kiting back outside of the base. They're trying to keep them here. It is just Fenrir who's in a little bit of danger. Looks like he might be the only one to fall on the side of Aster. He's even running back towards the enemy base. maybe go and get a few more hits on this Rax before he dies, but PPD will finish him off.
I think they should have committed in getting this range Rax's. Faceless Void ulti was not ready at the time. Ravage still not ready for 30 seconds. So even if it means that they lost 2 more heroes, even 2 cores, NIP can't really outpush the waves quickly enough to threaten their base.
So what do you, like to you, what do you point at for NIP that went wrong this game? Like, is it the draft?
Now that I'm looking at it, it's draft. Their damage is pretty static. Also, we can come back to a point that there's no good hero against the Timbersaw. So Aster learned from their mistakes on day 1, drafted a bit better, and this game is still not over.
No. It's only a 7k lead in Aster's favor, but NIP have to desperately defend that final Rax, and Aster at this point can probably just grind out another Aegis if they really need to, but you can see PPD still making plays, shoving these lanes out as best he can, but Aster are going to begin a little bit of a death march towards top lane, and NIP looks like they want to take the fight outside of the base. They're not going to give Aster the opportunity. What can they actually find? They're over in the trees, but they know that they can't touch Mushi. Ace and Sox are coming forward under cover of smoke. Gonna be looking for something else. Sylar has just picked up a Basher. Boca are gonna go and grab a couple of bouncy runes over on the other side of the map, and it does seem like Aster playing it safe. They want this first win here in the group stage, and just gonna grind out these last few items that they feel like they need to win this game.
They want to have buybacks before they take a fight. Considering that they took 2 sides of Raxes, they can get a lot of info what NIP is doing.
And that life drain just does absolutely nothing to Timbersaw. And Aster just looking for that one pick off that they need with the lasso. NIP waiting up on this high ground. They are going to get the Hex over onto Sylar. Can they focus him down? They're going to drop the Ravage for this. Where's the damage? This has been the question the entire time. It's a Chronosphere, but it's got a couple of Radiant heroes in it along. And Ace is just doing nothing. He jumps back defensively. 33 gets Omni Slash down. The Tide is not tanky enough. Saxa with the defensive disruption, but as he comes out, there's a bunch of Aster heroes waiting for him. Mega kill streak now for Sylar. It's not even that well executed of a fight for Aster, but they've got more than enough damage to just chop through everybody. Sylar finds himself a triple kill, and NIP just kind of fizzling.
Yeah. When it's time to call it, it is time to call it. They can't really take a fight. These Chronospheres, you didn't see one good Chrono in this game.
Did anybody die in a single Chrono this game?
I don't think so.
Oh boy.
One bad blink also from Tidehunter cost them the game. If they manage to lock down Juggernaut in that fight, it could make a difference.
They're still fighting. Ace is going to muscle through, at the very least, the Sven, but their Ancient is now exposed. NIP still refusing to call it here.
Roche is up. They can go into Roche pit, take it easy. 40 seconds for Chrono,
Caught
65 seconds for Ravage.
Boca, is this going to be the gem lost? All right, NIP getting their hands on that. They take out the 2 supports.
All right, never underestimate the power of throw.
Sure. Deep within every Dota player is at least a little bit of 3-2-2. It's in all of us, but very difficult game to throw at this point if you're Aster. Just have to wait for all of your heroes, probably exploit the mega creeps to get Roshan, and then go and end the game with Aegis. They can't kill the Jug twice. There's absolutely no way that Sylar dies twice.
He just bought a Blink Dagger.
Okay.
So
no
he does not have a
potential.
buyback.
Ooh,
Oh,
there's a
double
double
damage.
damage. All right, Ice Frog is Ice Frog's done with this game as well. There you go. We'll see if this is. I don't know if this is a bait for Aster. I don't think NIP are even moving anywhere close to do anything about this. So yeah, it does look like Aster just gonna pick this up quickly and then should march down mid to go and end the game.
Do I see any Divine Rapiers queued up? Nope, not yet. On side of NIP, no one has the gold for it.
You need the Divine on Tide. That's who really needs it. He's got that plus damage at.
I don't know what this
at
build on
level
Tide is, to
25.
be honest. Vlad's into Hand of Midas, into Blink Dagger, and then a BKB. It's not like you're playing against Disruptor, so you're afraid of not being able to use ulti. There's not even enough magic damage on side of Team Aster.
It almost feels like he died to Mushi that one time when they were chasing him at bottom and decided he needed the BKB. We got a last one coming in. They jumped over onto the Nature's Prophet. Can they find the big team fight? Mushi is running into the backlines with the Shivas, making it difficult for 33 to actually come over here. He's going to pop the BKB, look for the Ravage. They do get that follow-up stun, but all they killed was the Sven, and now the Omni Slash is coming through. Aster looking to take this game here. Mushi chasing in a little bit deeper. PPD juking for all he's worth. They do get another Hex up onto Sylar, but the question is the same that it's been this entire game. Where is the damage? Abyssal Blade gets dropped on Ace's head, and another bash. He will get the time walk away, but XXS is there waiting for him, and the Ancient is slowly falling to these creeps. They do bring down Ace for the first time. He buys back into the game, and Aster, it's been slow, it's been painful, but looks like they will finally close out this game. Next success with another big combination. Mushi bouncing around everywhere. Sylar, I mean, I think he could just hit the Ancient at this point, but wants to go and chop wood on Ace a little bit. Almost brought down. That's going to be his first life. Catapults are doing more work than anyone else at this point, it feels like.
All right, let's go, Sylar. It's time to finish this game.
He gets disrupted. Illusions are going to do some decent damage to him, but he does have that butterfly protecting him. Mushi's still running at everybody because he can't really be the one to hit the throne. Sylar taking some damage. The Glyph coming in. NIP still making this desperate defense. Fada brought down. He's also got to buy back everyone on NIP, putting their lives on the line, putting their back into it. But finally, the Ancient will explode. We will get a GG out of PPD. NIP not being too BM, but they did keep that one going right until the bitter end.
It was bitter.
Yeah.
Man, there's a huge question mark over my head. What's happening with this game? In the last engagement, Faceless Void, who's the most farmed hero on their side, goes in and tries to kill a Sven, who's position 5.
He didn't even kill him in the chrono duration. They needed the Ravage stun as well for him to die. That is not a good look. Gabe, what's your read? Tell me what you thought looking at that game.
I think that it was just, everybody seemed very discombobulated. There was a series of events that happened like super early on, right? And this was something where I was going to go back and I was going to highlight something that looked really good with Fada's play, right? Where he oftentimes has died solo, or things have looked rough for him. And I think part of that is because maybe a team decision or what have you, he moves over to try and contest for the bounty rune, and that puts him behind in the lane. And then because of that, he dies.
And then he came back and died.
And he's able to sort of come back later and sort of, that little help for his team plays a sacrificial role. But because of that, that also means that the only source of damage that they have on their team is getting solo killed in the lane. And so he's always playing from behind the entire rest of the game as well. So,
even if he had an extra item, extra 2 items, that would still lack damage. This kind of a lineup looks good on the paper, but when it's in the game, you actually see the downsides of it.
But I'll still say that I think that if you don't have that like solo kill happen, and if you don't start to lose your snowball early, maybe they could have like kept the pressure up and take all the outer tier 1 towers with the strength of a Tide Hunter and a Pugna together, just like walking from lane to lane to lane.
But how do you snowball? Like, it makes no sense with the itemization that they're going for.
That was the problem.
Get Hand of Midas, you get Battle Fury, so this Faceless Void is not gonna be able to do anything for 25, 30 minutes.
No.
Yeah. Once the game plan fell apart, it felt like they kind of abandoned that early push, and then it was playing from behind, and that was always going to be a losing strategy.
Is the hero the problem, or is the itemization?
I think the itemization was
So you
off
want, like, a
point.
Mask of Madness,
Shadow Blade, try to
BKB,
pick off BKB. Yep, and Tide Hunter as well. I don't know what this item build was. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but there's a reason why they lost the game as well.
Fair enough. It's going to have to be back to the drawing board for NIP. We do still have another game in this 2-game series coming up. Aster getting their first win. Stick around with us, guys. We'll be back for game number 2 in just a couple of minutes.